Hi everyone, welcome to this time together, this contemplative meditation reflection period. I just want to start by saying I really hope that you've all been keeping safe and well, and that you're all managing to keep your peace during a very, very turbulent time. I just wanted to send out a huge virtual hug to you tonight, wherever you're watching in the world, and say how blessed I am that you've joined us or joined me tonight to take part in this time together. I woke up the other morning and I came down for my quiet time. I have quiet time every morning with Abba, with God, and I felt a real burden for people who are feeling isolated, particularly with so many of us being in lockdown around the world. And I started really pondering on these people who, perhaps have suffered mental illness, who have suffered from depression. Certainly that's been something in my past. I've suffered from depression in the past, and I know how isolating that can be. So during this period, I just really wanted to reach out and build a community of people who could come together and perhaps, maybe we could start meeting here twice a week until this coronavirus eases its grip on our world at the moment. But I just want you to know that my intention is to be here for you and to be present to you and to join you on your journey, and know that you're not on your own. Absolutely, you're not on your own. There is a whole community of people out there who are rooting for us, and I just want you to know that you're safe and that this is a safe place for us to meet. So I thought tonight what we would do are three practices kind of rolled into one. We're going to start by doing something called a body scan, which I feel is very grounding and will be very useful, I hope, in helping you feel connected to your person. I think in the time of fear, it's easy for us to kind of experience feelings and emotions that are not completely even of ourselves. I think sometimes we pick up things that are affecting other people and we think that they're our own emotions. So doing this body scan will hopefully help ground us and keep us kind of present to our being, to our person. The next thing I wanted to do was to do something called the welcoming prayer, which has been a massive tool in my journey. And what it allows us to do is welcome these emotions and fears, and it allows us to almost change our dialogue with them. I find a very wise friend of mine once said to me, those fears that we have are often the places within us that need the most love, that need the most care and attention. And what I certainly have found in my own journey is I've tended to shut them behind a door and not want my fears or my anxiety or my anxious thoughts to emerge, and keep them locked away. But the irony is that when we do that, they kind of come up from a different way, or they manifest in my body in a way that's not healthy. And so the welcoming prayer allows us to welcome those thoughts and emotions, those fears, and to befriend them, which might sound counterintuitive, but trust me on this, it really is a very powerful exercise in prayer, and I'm really trusting that it'll help you on your journey. And then finally, we're going to end up with a contemplative silence. The journey of silence has been so important to me and to my relationship to God. And I just want to say that you don't actually have to be a Christian to do any of this. I am a Christian and my practice is rooted in my faith, but you can have any faith, be from any faith, whatever works for you, really. This is not some holy little huddle that Christians, or just for Christians, it's for people from all walks of life. We're actually going to end up with a prayer that's very dear to me called the Serenity Prayer. That was, I think it was developed in Alcoholics Anonymous. I hope my mom would not mind me saying this. She's actually in heaven now. But my mum was in AA for years, and they, every night as they closed one of their meetings, they would say the Serenity Prayer. And I think given the timing and where we find ourselves in the journey of life, the Serenity Prayer is a very grounding prayer to hold on to. So I just want to invite you now to shut your eyes. Just close your eyes and find yourself a comfortable place to sit. I'm assuming that you're sitting already. I hope you're sitting down. I kind of feel like I need to give a little health warning and say, please don't be driving while you're listening to this. I'm assuming that none of you are. But this, because we're going to do this body scan, and I need you to have your, well, I don't need you to. It'd be nice if you had your eyes shut, or you can watch me. I'm going to be reading the scan, the scan out, the body scan. So I just want to encourage you to close your eyes, and let's start by taking a really deep breath in. Breathing in through the nose and just releasing it. And connecting with your inner truth. If you do have a faith, maybe you want to connect with God by inviting Him into this time. If you don't have a faith, it's fine. Just connect with your wisdom that lives within you. So take another deep breath and hold it in for a moment. And just release it. Now, with your eyes closed, start by bringing your attention to your body. Feeling your body. Notice how your body is seated, wherever you're seated. Feeling the weight of your body on the chair, or if you're lying down on the floor. Take a few deep breaths in this place. Really feeling the weight and the presence of your own body, being very aware of it. And as you take a deep breath, bring in more oxygen into your body. And as you exhale, have a sense of relaxing more deeply. Now notice your feet on the floor. Notice the sensation of your feet touching the floor. The weight and pressure, the vibration, and perhaps heat. Now notice your legs against the chair. Pressure, heaviness perhaps, or lightness. Notice your back against the chair. Now bring your attention to your stomach. You might even want to put your hands on your stomach. You might notice that your stomach feels tense or tight. Try to let it soften. Take a deep breath here. Notice your hands. Are your hands tense or tight? See if you can allow them to soften. Notice your arms. Feel any sensation in your arms. Let your shoulders be soft. You might want to lift your shoulders up and relax them a few times. Notice your neck and your throat. Let them be soft. Relax. Soften your jaw. Let your face and facial muscles be soft Then notice your whole body present. Take one more deep breath in and release it. Be aware of your whole body the best you can. And when you're ready, slowly open your eyes. How are you feeling? I hope you feel present. One thing I've learned on my journey through life is that I can't change the future and I can't change the past. But I can be here in my present. And in my present, I can make good choices and challenge my mindsets and not give myself way to fear. So I hope you're feeling present right now. We're now going to move into this beautiful practice that I've learned that's been so beneficial to me over the years. It's called the welcoming prayer. And for those of you who've just joined, the welcoming prayer is a way of welcoming challenging thoughts and emotions that we feel and allowing ourselves to sit with them rather than pushing them away or pushing them down and suppressing them, which only causes tension and causes us to feel anxiety and fear. So again, I want to invite you to close your eyes and just acknowledge perhaps to yourself, with everything that's going on in our world right now, if you are feeling anxious or fearful, and you might not be feeling any of those things. Maybe you're feeling hurt in a relationship, or maybe you're not feeling any of those things. Maybe you're feeling joyful, and that's wonderful. I hope you are. This method, this welcoming prayer, can help us dismantle unhelpful mental and emotional habits so that we can respond rather than react to our circumstances. And that's a huge journey. That's a huge learning curve for me, is to learn to respond rather than react. Reacting is so toxic, I've found. So again, I want to invite you now just to close your eyes. And if you feel comfortable, I'm going to read the prayer out very slowly. And you can either say it silently in your heart, or you can repeat the words out loud, whatever you feel more comfortable with. Welcome, welcome, welcome. I welcome everything that comes to me in this moment, because I know it is for my healing. I welcome all thoughts, feelings, emotions, persons, situations, and conditions. Now this is the powerful part. I let go of my desire for security. I let go of my desire for affection. I let go of my desire for control. I let go of my desire to change any situation, condition, person, or myself. I open to the love and the presence of God and the healing action and grace within. By welcoming all of our thoughts and emotions and situations, and circumstances, they can then start to lose their power over us, the fear, the anxiety. And then we let them go, and we release them. Again, if you have a faith, you might want to release them. You release them into God's hands, and that's the best place for them. And again, if you don't have a faith, it's okay. Just release them. You don't have to hold on to fear or anxiety. And I want to finish by doing a short contemplative silence. Silence has been such a powerful tool in my life, and it's taught me so much. And it's there's this wonderful line that Thomas Merton, who's a monk, he said, "Silence is God's first language," and I love that. I love the fact that when I sit in silence, it creates a space in me, and the wisdom can rise up within me. And I sometimes see silence as almost a beautiful flower, like a rose that's within me, and it's gradually opening up, and the fragrance is coming out. And just to remind, just to go over, and maybe you didn't watch the last time, but just to say, there's 3 very simple steps to the journey of silence and to getting ourselves still and allowing ourselves to open up to God's presence or to the wisdom that lives within all of us. And the first step is setting an intention. It's important to set an intention for our silence, because it kind of slightly, the way that I think about it is setting an intention is almost like a roadmap. I kind of, there's this intention in my heart, and I set my intention before God, and I leave it with Him. So I'm a very physical person, so when I'm setting my intention, I like to hold something like this stone. And I think because of where we are in the world at the moment, it would be good for us to set a collective intention of healing, that our intention would be for healing to break out in our nations and in our cities. And we just hold that before God, or before whatever you believe in. Our intention is for healing and for people to, let's say, allow the grip of fear to loosen on their lives. So we set our intention. And next we choose a word. The way that I like to see it, it's called a sacred word. And the way that I view my sacred word is like an anchor. Now, the idea of silence, of sitting in silence, is not the absence of thoughts. We're not trying to shut our minds down or to get rid of all of our thoughts. That's not really possible. And that's not really the purpose of this. The way that I see it is to create space around our thoughts, again, so this wisdom can rise up within us, so that we can have a sense of space and peace within us. So you choose a sacred word that grounds you, that anchors you. So when the thoughts come bombarding in your mind and jumping around, and what should you cook for dinner, and what are you going to do tomorrow? Perhaps you're homeschooling. How are you going to homeschool your kids? The sacred word, the anchor, it's just a word that you can return to. And we do that by also working with our breath. So we work with our breath, and we work with our sacred word, and we anchor our thoughts. And we use our sacred word as our anchor, and we use our breath to come back to this stillness. So today, wherever you're watching in the world, we're just going to do a short 6-minute contemplative meditation. So I'm going to ask you now to close your eyes and take a deep breath in. And release it. Now maybe you want to ponder on what your sacred word, your anchor word will be. If you're a person of faith, you might want to root it in a faith word. If you don't have a faith, it can be something like peace. Maybe you want to feel more peace, so your anchor word could be peace, or it could be harmony. So choose your sacred word now. So we're going to start. If I can open my phone again. We're going to start by taking 3 deep breaths in. Holding it and release. Take another deep breath in. And release. And really breathing in deeply from your tummy. And release. Now see your sacred word like a feather, and you're placing it very gently on a pillow before you. And using your breath, breathing in and out. Breathing in and out. Remember to return to your sacred word at any time. Breathing in and out. Returning to your sacred word. Breathing in and out. Returning to your sacred word. Breathing in and out. Returning to your sacred word. Laying it down like a feather on a pillow. Breathing in breathing out. You're doing great. Returning to your sacred word. Breathing in breathing out. Breathing in breathing out. your sacred word. Breathing in. Breathing out. Breathing in. Breathing out. Returning to your sacred word, to your anchor. Breathing in. And breathing out. Well done. Slowly open your eyes if you haven't already. How did that feel? Your mind was probably racing. There was distractions in the background. There's children playing. It's been a beautiful day today in London. What I would love you to do is try to practice this on your own on a daily basis if you can, but of course don't beat yourself up if you can. Maybe sitting for 2 or 3 minutes in the morning or in the evening or whatever time works for you. And get into the rhythm of practicing silence, as I call it, or practicing stillness. Just being still. Just being present. Allowing yourself to breathe deeply. To remind yourself of the present moment. And before we finish, I'd love to just pray the serenity prayer over you. So if you want to close your eyes or keep them open, as I said, it's a prayer that I first heard when I was a child from my mum, and it seems very apt for the times that we're living in. So I'm just going to pray it over us. God, grant me the serenity to accept the things I cannot change, the courage to change the things that I can, and the wisdom to know the difference. I hope you've enjoyed our time together. I've enjoyed it. I'm going to try and do this twice a week, starting next week, so that we can build a bit of a community for people who want to join this. I'd love your thoughts and feedback. My email address is in the notes, and also there's a few resources that I've put in the notes. So I'd love to hear your feedback, your thoughts, and anything you'd like me to improve or anything you'd like me to expand on, let me know. But in the meantime, stay safe, stay well. God bless you. Huge virtual hug from me to you. Take care. Until next time.